This is the progressive Aerodyne Searay. Utilitarian, versatile, and efficient are the defining characteristics of this plane. You're looking at a better alternative to the overpriced Icon A5. Ideal for adventure and capable of giving you the best of everything within its power. You'll have the possibility of moving through the sky across the clouds and making landings and takeoffs from the sea. This is the reality. This is the Searay. The Searay is a two-seat amphibious aircraft with a sophisticated hull made of carbon fiber. The shape of its fuselage provides the necessary buoyancy to the aircraft during maneuvers or displacement over the water during takeoffs and landings. Well, the same can be said for every other amphibian, but just stick around and let me tell you why this one is simply better. In terms of dimensions, this high-wing aircraft has a length of 22.4 feet, a height of 6.4 feet, a wingspan of 30.8 feet, as well as a wing area of 158.2 square feet and a main wheel span of 16 inches in diameter. The windshield is not ordinary. It is designed to keep the pilot's line of sight clear at all times, and again, the same can be said about any other plane, but a plane that lifts off and lands on water requires extra thoroughness. They achieve this serious level of visibility by using a Lexan optical armor windshield, which features a hydrophobic film that prevents water accumulation as well as UV protection. Safety is a must for any aircraft, and this is even more important for amphibious aircraft, as they must be designed to cope not only with the complications that may arise during their flights, but also with those situations that may occur during their time on the water. Even though the Searay's design may not appear revolutionary at first glance, I know that it has been meticulously designed with both practicality and crew safety in mind, ensuring that every takeoff, whether from land or water, will be smooth. The Searay features landing gear in a tail dragger configuration for land operations, a characteristic aspect of amphibious aircraft. The landing gear is retractable, which means you can tuck it in after takeoff and enjoy the smooth aerodynamics retractables offer. The wings are positioned with a rearward offset on the leading edge and a straight trailing edge, which helps form a tapered wing. Looking inside, the plane appears to be relatively spacious, specially designed to seat two adults side by side in comfortable padded seats. Inside the aircraft, you will not find luxuries, but you will have everything you need to embark on an adventure, whether on solo flights or with a guest. The Searay gives you the opportunity to escape from the routine and spend relaxing moments away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Its ergonomically designed cabin has a width of 44 inches and a height of 35 inches, which is nothing surprising, but without a doubt, very compliant. Sure enough, the aircraft complements its crew space with a 13 cubic foot baggage compartment capable of carrying up to 50 pounds of cargo. Individual dual sliding canopies provide access to the cabin and can be opened and closed during flight. The entire instrument panel and cockpit can be customized according to the customer's needs and preferences. So, no matter how eccentric your tastes are, you can make it whatever you want. It has small LED lights in the cockpit located above the pilot's head that project rays towards the instrument panel for easy viewing. Another highlight of this aircraft is without a doubt its large cabin window. Thanks to them, you can look in almost any direction and nothing will get in your way. This obviously gives the crew a very rewarding experience and favors the overall view of the pilot's environment. Hell yeah! The Searay is powered by a turbocharged Rotax 914 engine, which provides a nominal power of 115 horsepower and weighs only 141 pounds. Some customers, especially those in the US, have a negative perception of Rotax, but I think they've done enough to earn everyone's trust. Rotax powers a great share of light sport planes, including the 4-seat Sling TSI. The engine is installed in the upper rear part of the wing. It is supported above the fuselage thanks to a vertical pylon that provides greater support. It also has an aerodynamic cover that ensures excellent airflow and at the same time protects the engine against any possible impact. The engine drives a 3-bladed warp drive propeller. Although the maximum power can reach 115 horsepower, it's only capable of maintaining this for 5 minutes, so the average power is around 100 horsepower. You can fuel it using 91-octane leaded or unleaded gasoline, and the recommended time between overhauls is 2,000 hours. It has an electric main fuel pump, as well as a backup fuel pump and a 12-volt battery. What do you think? This bird manages to achieve one of the outstanding performances among planes in its class, always bearing in mind that in the world of seaplanes, speed and altitude are not exactly highlights, but rather within normal ranges. Those looking for this type of aircraft know what they're dealing with in terms of performance. It can fly at a maximum cruising speed of 98 knots, and at a normal cruising speed with 75% power, it maintains 85 knots. Its service ceiling reaches 18,000 feet. It has a fuel capacity of 23 gallons and a fuel burn of 5.5 gallons per hour. It achieves a climb rate of 1,100 feet per minute during takeoff. It can lift off the runway with only 268 feet, and the distance required for ground landing is 325 feet. When we move to the water, these figures change slightly, and the takeoff and landing distances are 350 feet, which is quite impressive. Its maximum range with 30 minutes of fuel reserve is 329 nautical miles. This amphibious aircraft has an empty weight of 990 pounds, and its capacity to carry payload amounts to 440 pounds. So, the maximum weight supported for both takeoff and landing is 1,430 pounds. This light sport aircraft features an electronic flight instrument system. The Avionics suite incorporates multiple warning systems such as gear, angle of attack, and low fuel warning, with both audio and visual output notification. It incorporates as standard equipment the Garmin GTX 327 transponder, as well as the Garmin 696 GPS system with a 7-inch display, and also has a PS Engineering PAR 100EX radio and intercom system. In Advanced Flight Systems 5500 electronic flight instrument comes standard, along with an engine management system with synthetic vision. An electric elevator trim, electric bilge pump, and drain plugs complete the package, in addition to docking lights and a cabin heater for those times when the temperature drops too low and you don't want everyone to see you shivering. Progressive Aerodyne has introduced 3 variants of the Searay since its inception, starting with the basic Searay, the first model of the aircraft, which was introduced in 1992. It has a single-seat capacity, mounts a Rotax 912 engine with warp drive or Ivodrop propellers, and reaches a maximum speed of 100 knots with a climb rate of 600 feet per minute and a service ceiling of 12,500 feet. It's followed by the Searay Sport, a version that comes from the factory with the fiberglass hull, although there is the possibility of installing a carbon fiber hull if the customer requests it. This model is powered by the Rotax 912 ULS engine, capable of producing 100 horsepower. Then there's the Searay Adventure. This variant mounts a Rotax 912 ULS engine with a service ceiling of 13,000 feet and a climb rate of 650 feet per minute. It's sold as a special sport plane ready to fly. But there's also another variant, the Searay LSX, an experimental model to be built by hobbyists with a gross weight of 1,505 pounds. This version is ideal for those aviators who want to fully assemble their own aircraft but must be willing to invest 1,000 hours to get the aircraft operational. The Searay Elite costs around $158,000, with the possibility of increasing its price depending on customizations or avionics options the customer decides to go for. Now, no question that the Searay Elite LSA is a versatile and unique aircraft, but how does it stack up against one of its direct rivals? The Icon A5 is another amphibious sport aircraft that competes in the same segment as the Elite LSA, which features a ship hull designed for amphibious operations. Dimensionally, they're nearly identical, with the Icon A5 having a wingspan 3 feet longer. Internally, the Icon A5 is presented as an aircraft with a much more luxurious design, since its cabin was developed in collaboration with Lotus, the British car company. So, when you see it, you'll notice some similarities with the interior of a sports car. The fuselage of the Icon A5 is also made of lightweight, high-strength carbon fiber material, but it has C-wing platforms that provide lateral stability and allow the crew to stand upright during the docking of the seaplane in the water. But the most differentiating aspects of the Icon A5 with respect to the Searay are the possibility of equipping an emergency parachute that lands the aircraft in the event of an emergency, such as engine failure, as well as the possibility of transforming its retractable landing gear into a fixed one. The Icon A5 is powered by a Rotus 912IS fuel injection engine capable of delivering 100 horsepower. Its maximum speed is around 100 knots as long as the maximum weight does not exceed 1,510 pounds. It has a range of 427 nautical miles with 45 minutes of fuel reserve, a fuel capacity of 20 gallons, a takeoff distance of 640 feet on the ground and 840 feet on the water, and a landing distance of 590 feet on the ground and 700 feet on the water. As far as performance is concerned, they're fairly similar, but the Searay is the clear winner because since the base cost of the Icon A5 is about $350,000, more than double than that of the Searay, and the performance is fairly the same, your guess is as good as mine. The Searay is very fun to fly for its users, especially thanks to the possibility of flying with the cabin canopy open a few centimeters so you can directly feel the wind in your face. Of course, you can only have the canopy half open when flying at speeds below 78 knots. Safety is another cool aspect of the Searay Elite LSA. Each float has two frangible points that are designed to break in the event of excessive side loading. If this occurs, the built-in Lotus float will swing freely under the wing instead of transferring the energy to the wing strut, causing damage to that area. The tail is attached to the wings by a cable whose purpose is to help keep the wing perpendicular to the fuselage and thus help provide additional support in times of heavy structural loads, such as those experienced in water operations. It should be remembered that amphibious aircraft are much more environmentally friendly than other traditional aircraft, mainly because they do not need much infrastructure other than natural expanses of water to operate and do not require much space. They also tend to be quieter. What else do you need? When first-time pilots fly this aircraft, they will notice that if there's a lot of power, the nose drops slightly, and if the power is retarded, the nose goes up again, basically because the aircraft has low mass and high resistance, so its behavior when flying will be different from what many users are used to. That is why transition training is especially important so that pilots can adapt to the characteristics of the aircraft and not find it uncomfortable to fly. Another aspect for which they have to be prepared is that when at sea, the aircraft floats a little before settling down completely, so users may feel at times that they're aboard a boat and not an aircraft. But these are things that do not negatively influence the experience, so there's not really much to lose. Today, this type of amphibious aircraft is a curious, different, and promising alternative. Halfway in between naval engineering and aeronautics, they are emerging as a commercial and private sector that is expanding and whose future may be very promising. An important point to consider is that nowadays, due to the high concentration of population and infrastructure, it's becoming increasingly common for land airports to have less and less space. So, having an aircraft with the capacity to operate on water is a definite advantage. It remains to be seen what the future holds in this regard, but for now, it seems that amphibious aircraft are gaining momentum in terms of popularity.